Alright, so how's it going? And welcome to just a quick showing of Nosferatu, one of my favorite silent films ever. It's based off of the Bram Stoker book, Dracula. They just couldn't get the name for Dracula because of copyright issues. So I'm just going to go ahead and watch this movie, and it's been a while since I've seen it, so I guess you'll be seeing it for one of the first times that I'll be seeing it. So it's pretty interesting because this is a public domain movie, so I can actually show the entire thing. I apologize for maybe the aspect ratio. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I just kind of stretched it a little bit, so I might cut off a little bit of the video, but I guess we'll see. I'm not sure. Yeah, Max Schreck is the guy who plays Count Orlok in this film. So I'm gonna kind of like break down some of the stuff that's happening. I don't know if you'll understand what's happening because of silent movies. I know nowadays people are less interested in the silent films, but I guess we'll see how that works. This music is really good too. I'm not gonna be talking to the whole thing, only on certain parts, just to let you guys know kind of what's happening and things like that. Again, this is public domain, so this won't get taken down. That was a really cool transition for being made in 1922. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that Bram Stoker and the people associated with making the book Dracula, since they wanted to make the movie right after this one, after they seen it, they required that all the copies of this film be burned, so that they won't have any association with Dracula and Count Orlok being together. But one of the copies survived, and this is the copy that is continually restored and things like that. Yeah, so Wisborg is the town that it's supposed to be in, but it's a made-up town in Germany. It's not a real town. If you've seen any of the restored versions, they're like colored. I'm not sure why they colored them like that, but I'm not gonna really talk too much about the plot. I'm gonna talk more about just like the things in general that stand out to me, I guess, as this will be about the 6th or 7th time that I've seen this film, so. Pretty much the plot is this guy goes to talk to a landowner or his boss to go investigate a Count Orlok in Transylvania about purchasing home near where their residence is, and he gets invited to the castle, and he gets suspicious of Count Orlok, and things go down like that. That's pretty much the plot. Really don't understand that part. Like, why did you kill the flowers? I mean, I guess she means like picking the flowers for her. I don't really know what she meant there. Because then like right after he just hugs her with a smile, so I don't know. Whatever, I guess. That's foreshadowing. No one can outrun their fate. I'm assuming that is foreshadowing for what's going to happen next. So Nock is the guy that Count Orlok actually controls. Like if you've seen Dracula, like the Bela Lugosi Draculas, you know that he always has like a minion that he can control. This is the guy right here. His name is Knock. Practically becomes Dracula's like embodiment, I guess you would say. You know, because like in Bela Lugosi Dracula, there's always a minion to call him master and things like that, and this would be that guy. This is the scene where he's going to get told to go find Count Orlok in Transylvania. Yeah, so Count Orlok wants to purchase, well, quote unquote, purchase a house in their town, and he wants to go. He tells him to pretty much go investigate Count Orlok. A little blood. The one thing I do love about silent movies is the fact, he wants a very nice empty house, yeah, is the fact that they still talk in dialogue as if we can actually understand what they're saying, and that's just for the actors to know when to cue. But I think it's kind of funny that they still talk in dialogue while there's no audio on the screen. Yeah, Transylvania is always associated with phantoms and vampires and things like that, and so that's what they were talking about there. And they just yuck it up. Every time that, that's something else that's amazing. Every time that there's a happy scene, or like these two characters are together, there's always like that happy music, and then when there's Count Orlok on screen, it's always the change of dramatic tone of music. That's usually a thing that most horror movies do pretty well. Like in Halloween, when Michael Myers is on screen, they have the Halloween theme. Or then when like Laurie Strode's with a friend, it always changes in tempo and tone. This is actually one of the first horror movies ever made. The first is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is slightly before this one. They're both silent, public domain horror films. This one pretty much influenced. Well, I guess I can't say influence because the book Dracula was before this film, but this influenced, I guess, vampire movies in general and shadowy atmospheres, and then the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari influenced things like Frankenstein and things like that. Now you notice that since it is silent film, they have to use facial expressions a lot more, so like right there, he pretty much exaggerated a facial expression to let you guys know the emotion he's feeling. But the fact that they actually are conveying that emotion just through facial expressions is very good. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that his name is Hutter. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Very good shot of them descending the staircase. That's a pretty cool architecture that they chose to incorporate into the scenes. It really puts you in the tone of 1922, like Germany. Nice wide open shots right there. So basically right now he's on his voyage to go to Transylvania to go meet Count Orlok for the first time. I really like this scene. It has the buildings are really cool in my opinion. I like that type of architecture and building. It actually shows like it seems like a small village, so it's what's supposed to be. So it does give you that vibe. Carpathian Mountains. One of my favorite scenes is coming up where they actually show the castle, Orlok's castle. It really reminds me of the castle from Castlevania. If you finish Castlevania 1, they show the castle crumbling. It reminds me pretty much of that. Also apologize for any blurriness that may happen. I just noticed it just a second ago, like the latency of the video or the frame. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. Maybe the aspect ratio. But there's like a blur around some objects if they're moving, and I can't really fix that. I apologize. Notice they're keeping pretty consistent with the rule of thirds in the scene. They had some to the left, some to the right, one in the middle. This is a scene where they beware him of Transylvania. Their facial expressions. It's really interesting because I can actually hear what they're saying. Like, in my mind, I can actually hear him saying, "No, you don't want to go to Transylvania," and things like that. And they just did really well portraying that without actually being able to use dialogue and audio in this movie. They just made mention to werewolf, so they cut to a shot of a random wolf, which is really interesting. Insinuating the fact that that was a werewolf. I really like this room for some reason. I'm not sure why. It reminds me of something. I'm not sure exactly what it reminds me of. It's the perfect I guess placement for horror in general. Just this room and the room that he stays in when he's in Count Orlok's castle. Just small, dark, weirdly architectural rooms. I don't know. I guess it just stands out to me as them being perfect for a horror movie. Yeah, this is where he starts actually understanding that the phantoms they were talking about was at the land of the phantoms in Transylvania. And there is Nosferatu, the vampire. Yeah, I've actually never read that. It said the seat of Belial. I never noticed that it said that at the top. Very good way to introduce the character, by the way. Showing him open up a pamphlet. Because that's what you would pretty much do if you're going somewhere to a new place that you've never been. You would investigate the place with the best information you could possibly have, and that was the book that he was reading. The scene I was talking about is coming up with the castle. Really, really cool shot of the mountains. Nice pan. Again, the trees are in the middle, using the rule of thirds once again. Really cool scene there with the horses. I never understood why he just randomly, or why the person was just out there running around, but they have a reason for it. I was just curious as to why it was. Because he comes in and says something to him about an attack from the previous night, I'm pretty sure. Just throws the book on the ground. Vampires. Hell with this. And just throws them on the ground. Oh, I guess I was wrong. I could have swore they came through and said something about an attack from the previous night with the werewolf, but I guess not. I don't know. Maybe it was in a restored version or something. Not sure. This is actually the first time I've seen the public domain version. I've seen the restored versions where things get taken out and things get added, little bits. The ones I've seen were the colored versions, so I've never seen this black and white version completely through. The way they showed that is they were like, it's getting dark, and then they panned up to the sky just to show that it is getting dark, even though it is a black and white movie. Which that doesn't affect anything because Night of the Living Dead does that a lot too, so. So basically what the carriage driver is saying is he doesn't want to get anywhere close to Transylvania or the castle, so he's letting him off right there. And the guy and Hutter were saying he wants to pay him more money, but he doesn't care. So he just takes one of the horses. There it is, the scene I was talking about with the castle on top of the hill. Yeah, so pretty much, I don't know why I said the horse, he takes a horse. It's not him taking a horse, it's Orlok that comes to pick him up. Yeah, so Orlok's pretty much cheesing around these corners with his own carriage, and he comes to pick him up. There he is right there. I like it. It actually is regular. You can tell it's just regular footage of regular speed, just sped up. It's pretty awesome. So there's Count Orlok, the first time we actually see him, but they don't actually mention him being Count Orlok just yet. And also, I like how his horses have like cloaks over top of them as well. Max Strike does an amazing job at just portraying just a scary, creepy vibe to his Dracula character, or Count Orlok character, I guess. It's not Dracula, but it is. That was a weird transition of color. This is the first time they actually pretty much got to see each other. And there's the castle itself, which they'll have a better view of that in a second. I really like it when he walks in through these doors and it shows the innards of the castle. It's really interesting. And the doors open by themselves, of course. That's a really good shot of Count Orlok coming out of the tunnel. The fact that he literally just went around the corner, and then he's right there too. So he's very fast apparently. Very good shot of him coming through that doorway. It's really good shots. This movie relies heavily on shadows and darkness, so you'll see a lot of different shots of doorways and shadows, and he does such a good job. Max Strike, that is.